Hello, and welcome back to Word Unlocked. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah. And today's word is not gentle. It is not soft. It does not cushion anything. Today's word is raw, honest, and sometimes exactly what you need.
Yes, this word is for situations where difficult is not strong enough, where hard doesn't cover it, where you need a word that captures something genuinely punishing. Sarah, the word.
Brutal.
Brutal. Let's learn it.
Brutal means extremely harsh, unforgiving, either physically, conditions that punish your body, or emotionally, feedback or honesty that hits hard, or conversationally, used as an exaggeration for anything that was genuinely terrible to get through.
The core idea is always the same. No mercy, no softening, nothing held back. Whatever it is, brutal.
Now, the chunks.
Chunk 1. Brutally honest. You tell the complete, unfiltered truth. No softening, no diplomatic packaging, just the raw reality, delivered directly.
For example, can I be brutally honest with you? This draft needs a complete rewrite. Not, there are a few small areas to improve. Brutally honest, complete rewrite, the full truth.
Brutally honest is both a compliment and a warning. When someone says, "Can I be brutally honest?" you know something hard is coming, and you also know they respect you enough to tell you the real thing.
Brutal honesty delivered with care is a gift. Brutal honesty delivered without care is just brutal.
Chunk 2. A brutal schedule, or brutal hours. A daily routine that leaves you completely emptied. No space, no rest, just back-to-back demands on your time and energy.
For example, she worked brutal hours for 3 months during the product launch, 6 a.m. to midnight every day. The hours were not just long, they were brutal, punishing, relentless.
Brutal hours are sometimes necessary for short periods, but sustained brutal schedules, they break people. Sleep deprivation, burnout, health problems. A brutal schedule is not a badge of honor. It is a warning sign.
Chunk 3. Brutal feedback, or a brutal review. Criticism that holds nothing back. Every flaw, every mistake, every weakness named clearly.
For example, the code review was brutal. Every function had comments, every variable name was questioned, every logic choice was challenged. Nothing passed, nothing was spared. Brutal feedback.
Brutal feedback is not the same as unfair feedback. Brutal feedback can be completely accurate, just delivered without softening. Every problem named, nothing skipped.
And sometimes brutal feedback is the most useful feedback because you cannot improve what has been politely hidden from you.
Chunk 4. Absolutely brutal. The conversational exaggeration. Something was terrible, exhausting, punishing, and you want to communicate the full weight of that experience.
For example, the traffic this morning was absolutely brutal. I sat in the same spot for 40 minutes. Not literally brutal, not violent, just genuinely terrible to experience. Absolutely brutal.
Absolutely brutal is one of those phrases that just feels right. It delivers the full weight of the complaint in 2 words. No more explanation needed.
And chunk 5, a brutal winter or brutal weather. Physical conditions that are genuinely severe, punishing, unrelenting. The kind of cold or heat that your body feels as an attack.
For example, last winter was brutal, -15 for 3 weeks straight. Not just cold, brutal cold, the kind that freezes everything, makes every step outside a challenge. Brutal winter.
Brutal weather is very visceral. When you say it, people feel it. They know exactly what kind of conditions you mean. Not mildly unpleasant, brutal. 2 stories. Mine first, about brutally honest. A few years ago, a close friend asked me to read something he had written. He was proud of it, I could tell. He sent it with a lot of excitement. And it was not good. The structure was confused. The argument didn't land. It needed significant work. Not small edits, a rethink. He asked, "What do you think? Honestly." I took a breath and I said, "Can I be brutally honest? Because I think you can make this much better, but right now it's not there yet." And then I told him specifically what wasn't working and specifically what I thought would fix it.
How did he react?
Quiet for a moment, then, "Okay, I knew something was off. I just needed someone to say it."
He needed the brutally honest.
He rewrote it completely. The second version was genuinely excellent. And he told me later, "If you had just said it was good, I would have sent the bad version, and I would have been embarrassed."
Brutal honesty, when delivered with care, protects people from their own blind spots. My story is about brutal feedback and receiving it. Early in my career, I presented work I was genuinely proud of. I had put real effort in, real time, and I thought, this is good. The senior person reviewing it disagreed, comprehensively. She went through it point by point, every section, every choice, every assumption I had made. Nothing was spared. It was brutal feedback. I sat there and felt small, exposed, like the floor had dropped slightly.
What did you do with it?
I went home. I felt terrible for about 2 hours, and then I read her notes again, carefully, and she was right about almost everything. The brutal feedback was accurate. I redid the work completely, using her notes as a guide. The second version, she approved it immediately with barely a comment.
The brutal feedback made the work better.
Completely better. And after that experience, I started asking for brutal feedback deliberately before submitting anything important, because I would rather hear the hard truth from one person privately than from many people publicly.
Brutal feedback in private is a gift. The same feedback in public is just pain. Okay, let's finish. Brutal, unforgiving, harsh. Nothing held back. Whether it is honesty, feedback, a schedule, weather, or just a terrible morning commute.
Your 5 chunks: brutally honest, telling the complete, unfiltered truth even when it's hard to hear; a brutal schedule or brutal hours; a daily routine so demanding it leaves nothing for anything else; brutal feedback or a brutal review, criticism that names every flaw without softening; absolutely brutal, the conversational exaggeration for anything genuinely terrible to get through; and a brutal winter or brutal weather, physical conditions that are severely punishing.
Today's homework. Think of someone in your life who could give you brutally honest feedback on something you are working on. Not someone who will be kind, someone who will be accurate. Ask them this week.
The people who tell you the hard truth are rare and valuable. Protect those relationships, because comfortable feedback keeps you comfortable. Brutal feedback makes you better.
Ask for the brutal feedback. It is almost always worth it.
Thanks for listening to Word Unlocked. See you next time.
Stay curious. Welcome the hard truth. Later.
That was brutally short for a sign-off.
Brutally